こんにちは、ソロアイエルツのMitsumineルークです。今日はですね、アイエルツリスニングの空欄補充問題について解説します。空欄の補充問題は音源で流れてくる内容に関する文章に、空欄がですね、与えられていて、それに当てはまる語彙を書き出すというものですね。まずは実際に空欄補充問題を解いてみましょう。解いてみると、なるほど、そういう感じかというのがわかるかと思います。今、画面に映っているのが空欄補充問題の設問です。ポイントとしてはですね、音源が流れてくる前に各設問の文章に目を通しておくことで、どういったトピックなのか、そして聞き取るべき箇所を具体的に想像すること、これが大切になります。そのためにはですね、各問いのキーワードを確実に押さえておきましょう。例えば問い1ですと、オーストラリアとシンガポール。問いの2では trade がキーワードだとわかります。時間に余裕がある人などは設問番号の前後からですね、聞き取るべき品詞から答えの予測まで自分で想像しておくと、さらに正答率を上げることができます。それでは今から音源を流しますね。
In this section, you will hear two students presenting a tutorial on two Asian countries. Australia has had a fairly stable relationship with Singapore over the years. Can you briefly talk about that?
Yes. Singapore and Australia have always maintained a friendly and warm relationship. As Jen said, many students come to Australia to study here, and often they stay here to work. Similarly, lots of Australians live and work in Singapore. Singapore was one of the first Asian countries to really take advantage of its geographical location and the technological advances that were made at the end of last century. It has a strong economy.
Singapore and Australia signed an expanded trade accord in February, which covers all sorts of subjects from education through to customs procedures at the airports. It's accepted that this accord will really strengthen ties between the two countries.
So trade between Singapore and Australia is continuing to grow. But we're not one of Singapore's top 3 trading partners. They're the US, Japan, and Malaysia.
Yes, and interestingly, but not surprisingly, I guess, Malaysia's top 3 trading partners are the US, Japan, and Singapore.
Yes, Singapore and Malaysia are neighbours, so you would expect that. What did you discover about the relationship between Malaysia and Australia?
Well, it hasn't been as stable as Singapore and Australia's friendship. Malaysians and Australians get along well on a personal level. There have been an increasing number of tourists travelling between the two countries, so it isn't just the students who are coming here. Historically, Australia and Malaysia, and for that matter Singapore as well, have a lot in common, with the British colonialists. Malaysia now doesn't want to blindly follow Western ideas, which is fair enough.
Yes. This is something that we'll talk about later in the semester. Australia's international relations in the region.
There do seem to be misunderstandings and disagreements between Malaysia and Australia, but diplomats say that these are exaggerated by the media.
Yes, we all know the power that the media has. Was there anything else?
Well, yes. What I found was that Singaporeans are generally regarded as well-educated, well-travelled, knowledgeable. They enjoy a quality of life that is envied in other countries, especially in other Asian countries. The Singaporean government is spending a lot of money on education and technology.
Is this going to continue? Did you look at the government's agenda for the future?
They're developing a knowledge-based economy. Unlike other Southeast Asian countries, Singapore hasn't been dependent on the production and export of commodities. They intend to be IT-driven, with a highly skilled economy.
I see. And how did this differ in Malaysia?
Well, the Malaysians are very enterprising people. They're well-educated and highly skilled too. Like the Singaporeans, they've got a strong work ethic. We both felt that of the two countries, Malaysians were much more Asian in their way of thinking, although they seem to mix Eastern and Western traditions easily. This could be one of the reasons that tourism is doing so well in Malaysia. The economy once relied almost solely on the export of raw materials, but that's changed a lot. All the experts say that Malaysia has a huge future.
You've obviously enjoyed your research. I'm sure you'll enjoy learning more about the region as we continue on with the other overviews.
はい、できましたでしょうか。答えを順番に読み上げます。1、friendly and warm。2、continuing to grow。もしくは growing。3、Japan。4、tourism。もしくは number of tourists。5、education and technology。6、eastern and western。トランスクリプトを確認して詳しく復習をしたい人は概要欄に貼っているので活用してみてください。ここからはですね、空欄補充問題のコツである問題用紙の情報から類義表現、パラフレーズですね、を事前に予測するについて詳しく説明していきます。空欄補充問題では設問のキーワードから事前にですね、書き取るべき内容を推測しやすいですね。そのため、事前に用意されている表を正確に読めることが大切なんですけども、音源では表と少し異なる表現に言い換えされて出題されるんですね。表で与えられている表現がそのまま出てくることはあまりありません。で、先ほどの問題でそれをですね、一緒に見ていきたいと思います。今、画面に映っているのは、左側が設問として用意されていた表の問い1から6で、右は音源中でですね、出てきた表現です。問い1は has been だったのが、音源では have always maintained。問い2はそのままでした。特に言い換えはなしですね。問い3はシンガポール、マレーシア、アメリカ、日本を音源で they と代名詞を使っています。問いの4はオーストラリアとマレーシアを the two countries。問い5は invest in を spending a lot of money on。問い6は Nancy and Jenny を we both。customs を traditions と言い換えています。空欄補充問題ではピンポイントにですね、聞き取って書き取るというのがですね、必要になってきます。一瞬たりともですね、気が抜けないタイプの設問ですよね。集中力がとても大切になってきます。そのですね、集中力というのは、やっぱ高いリスニング力があってこそですね、役立つものでもあります。日頃からリスニングの練習を怠らずに、またですね、様々な設問形式、全部で6つありますね、に慣れておくことで、集中力をですね、上げていくことにもつなげていくことができます。以上が IELTS リスニング空欄補充問題の解説でした。IELTS に関して何かありましたら遠慮なくご質問ください。最後まで動画を見ていただき、ありがとうございました。